We are at the cabin. Oh, the grass is really filling out. I'm glad I mowed last week this front. The water level's down a little bit more. And the spring moss is starting to come up. The fence fell in a little bit. I need to reposition this anyway out in the water so it's out of my wife's way when she mows. But I don't see any goose poop or no feathers. Still wet from the dew and just a little soggy, but not bad. More the rocks are visible. Things picked up. Redbud is still gorgeous. See the cherry tree starting to blossom. Open up the shed doors. Get my floor out. I used it last week. I checked the gas. It's about a half a tank, so we'll get some more here. Switch up on the shelf here. I got a plan to improve that shelf. Slam the door in your face. Get my mower out and get it gassed up. But while my wife is doing the front, I'm going to start on the water system. Off for a while. Well, as you can hear, we've got the mowers started. So I need to unpack the SUV. My gloves. Oh, got some weed killer. 2x4s to eventually do some work on the pier. tools. More tools. Work boots. Insect killer for the ants and all, so I can go around the base. Bleach and paper towels. Things we use in abundance down here. The other bleach and the white rags go to the pump room. This is the pump room. This is where we'll be working today. Tight quarters. I need to get some of this stuff out before I start working on the water, and we'll go through that. First thing that needs to be done is everything taken out of the bottom of the pump room, and to remove those two boxes, what I call blue bucket and the container above it, that has all the parts that we need to get the bathrooms running, get the water started. So I'm going to clean this stuff out, and then we'll get started. Plenty of bleach. Well, the first thing we need to get started is to work on the plank drain that I installed out here. Got a funnel, bleach, short hose, and a cup. If you look in here, you can see why I need the cup. The water's been so high, about halfway down the valve. I can get the pipe, inlet pipe completely exposed. I have the outlet actually pointed up, so it's out of the water completely. I'm almost there. Make sure that it was turned off. What I do in the fall, once the water system's turned off, I open up this valve to drain out the inlet. Then I close it knowing that this is going to flood. Now, what I'm going to do is open it back up and see if there's any residual water in there. And there is. It's pouring out. Nice fresh water. You'll see that there's a valve up by the bathrooms that's left open. So there is air coming in it. Now what I'll do, connect the hose up. Hopefully you can hear me over the lawnmower. If not, I'm going to have to narrate this when I edit it. It's all nice and tight. Mold or fungus or anything else that might get at it from the lake. I'm going to pour some bleach down it to try to clean the pipe before I prime the pump. Shake this up. There's that outdoor bleach. Concentrate to it. Take out of this hose. There we go. There's a check valve on the inlet hose, so none of this bleach should be getting into the lake. What I'll do here in a minute is turn this valve off and go up and check the valve outside the outhouse or the pump room and make sure that, see if something has flown, if anything is, any water is bleach has come through and emptied out. This is taking quite a bit of time to go down, so I'm thinking we may be there. I'm gonna go check the valve outside the bathroom. This is the valve outside the bathrooms. There's two pipes down there. The one on top, the smaller 3/4 inch, with the clear pipe on the pump side, is for the lodge. Underneath it is a 1-inch pipe. And if you look, you'll notice that the rock outside the faucet is slightly wet, which means it started to come out. Unfortunately, that's stuck. I'm going to have to get a wrench on it to shut it off. But that's the second thing you check to make sure you got bleach all the way in it. Shut off the valve. You can tell that some bleach had gone through the system. I'm going to fill this again just to try to get as much bleach in there as I can before we prime the system. It's going down, but not very quick. I'm going to wait a couple of seconds, shut the valve. Hopefully that bleach is getting in the pipe, mixing with the water and sanitizing this pipe out. Prevent mildew and mold from building in the pipe. all these valves in the fall. After I drain them, I shoot WD-40 up into them, trying to keep them from rusting up too bad over the winter, since most of them are kept open for 5 months. Yeah, I'm starting to lose a little bit of what was left of the bleach down here. I have to get a wrench because that makes it really slick. That's turned off. This part's done. Now we can get to the pump room and try to prime the pump. Here is everything taken out of the pump room. This is the one on the shelf, the container on the shelf that's marked as blue bucket, and that's because I used to put everything in a blue bucket up there. But it has extra parts, funnels, an air compressor, and some other miscellaneous parts. This is what holds most of the parts that I use today. You can see I've got it labeled. If I get out of the sunlight, I've got it labeled, and they're in here. Up in this corner is where most of the stuff resides. I've got two plugs, two drain plugs. The drain plugs, one goes in the end of the pump here, and there's another, feel for it, you can see the rust coming off of it, is under here. And those have to be put back in before we can start priming. This is the prime plug. Used to have to take that out in and out, but it wants to start stripping, so instead I've put this valve on here, and we can prime with that valve. And I'll set you up, but let me give you a little tour first. I have to shut the door. We've got two valves down here. The lower valve here controls the water going to the bathrooms, the two sinks, the two toilets, and the outside faucet. The upper one controls the water going to the cabin lodge, so we'll put them in the off position. That way, if we get it charged, the water's stopped right here. This is one drain valve down here that we open in the fall to drain the system. We also have this one down here. You can't really tell, but this pipe is bent. This is the lowest area of the pipe for the bathrooms, so this drains that out, and then I blow it out with the air compressor. So we have to shut those. We also can't turn the water onto the bathrooms until all the valves inside the bathrooms to the sink and to the toilets are disconnected and left open so that they'll get air in them, hopefully to dry them out before the freeze comes. We've got 1-inch pipe here, black pipe that comes in from the lake, and then we've got this clear plastic, at least it was clear at one time, that comes in, goes to the tank, comes up, goes to a particle filter that we have up here. It's not in right now, so I've got it on bypass, or got it off, and then goes back out. It's clear that goes back out to the lodge, and clear where it goes down to the tree here that divides it off. So the pump usually runs once it gets below 30 pounds and goes up to 50 pounds. And with that 20-gallon tank, it doesn't run as much as the old pump we had, which had a 5-gallon tank. And that's especially nice when you've got these 2 bathrooms. You want to have a little water in storage. So I'm going to set you up here, and then I'm going to start working on getting those plugs back in. And I'll also want to turn this off. This drains the tank and the lines. So that's the 3rd drain that's in there. Well, we'll work on this one again after my camera fell. No really good places to set it while I'm working. Got the plug somewhat cleaned out of that one. We'll get the drain plug and see if we can't get it started. There it goes. I think I want to get stripped, cross-threaded. That's the trouble with having to take these out every year and then put them back. There's a thread of cross-threading. What I'm going to do is get some more WD-40. My wrench. Spray that again. Get the rag. See if we can't get some more of this rust out of the threads. Boy, you don't see much thread in there. May have to bring my tap and die set down and work on it eventually, but let's got it started. Let's try cleaning it again. It might be old pipe threading. So that's the next thing. We'll take thread sealant on it. Get off my knee here. Oh, nice messy stuff. Switch hands with the camera here and try to get this started again. Here we go. That's pretty tight. Well, we'll see if it works. So now everything is closed up. Now I need to go to the lake, get some water to put down through here and try to get it primed. Put up the pipe threading and the wrench. And I'll grab my water barrel bucket and pick it back up once I get the water. Okay, first thing I want to do, make sure this is open. We've see if I can shut the door here. It is tight. And what we're going to do is pour some bleach down in there again, just to get a little more bleach in the system. Goes in the tank. It'll clean things out in the tank. That's enough, I think. And now we'll fill the rest with water, which I have down here. You can also hear it going into the tank. Good. We're starting to pour some air out of the line. That's what we want to get. That's what kills the prime mostly, is the amount of air that gets down into the pipe. I think more's leaking out the side now than is going down the pipe, so hopefully the pipe is somewhat filled. Set things down here, put the top back on the bleach. I'm going to just momentarily flip the pump. I'm not sure. That it almost sounds like the propellers aren't even turning. Like the blades in the pump aren't turning. Almost just sounds like the motor, but it's hard to tell. It bothers me that the light is coming on, or the light is dimming. It sounds like the motor's trying to run, but that the propellers may not, I keep saying propellers, but that the blades may not be running in the pump. I may still have to take this drain plug out and spray WD-40 up there and see if I can turn it with a screwdriver, or else I'd hate to have to take this entire system apart. I'll close this off and try it. I do not believe that is turning at all. Trying to keep putting water in here to get more of the air out. Hit the pipe a little bit, see if we can't get some of the air to bubble out like that. Unfortunately, that doesn't do anything. The impellers. Try hitting the side. Well, before I keep doing that too much and burning the motor out, I'm going to take this off, investigate, see if I can get a screwdriver down there and move them a little bit, get them turning. If not, that means I'm going to have to take the outlet and the pressure gauge off and do it, so I'll get started on that. Okay, investigating. You look down in here, there's the shaft from the motor, and it is not turning. So I'm going to take a screwdriver and a hammer and just pound on it a little bit. Well, this is the pump motor and pump. These were frozen up. I can now turn the impeller. It still wants to stick up, and I temporarily plugged it in, and it draws a lot of current and it doesn't go anywhere but hum. So we're going to have to buy a new pump.
I think you can tell by my voice how frustrated I was at this time. But I may have made a little too quick of a decision right then.
Okay, I got the impellers turning. I've got the outside case on it. I'm getting ready to put the other, and it's still turned after I tightened it down. I'm going to put the O-ring back. So much rust. Put the O-ring back, and then I want to put the case back together and see if it still turns. I think we're still going to have to buy a new pump. This one is got so much rust on the inside. It's cast iron. It really jams up. I try spraying WD-40 in it in the fall after I blow it out. But it's still rusted completely up to where it jammed up the impellers. I don't think that should be that tight. I don't want to cross thread it, but we'll see how it turns with the wrench. Yeah, it's turning that finger. It's tight still, but it's turning. Cross-threaded, we wouldn't be able to turn them at all. Even the rust has gotten to this ratchet. It's hard to turn the lock. I can set it down now. Yeah. Let's see if it still turns. Don't try this at home. Working, and I can feel the air blowing out, so I'll hook it back up. I think before I take it back in there, I'll put those drain plugs back in where it's easy to get to. I don't want to strip them. If it leaks, we'll tighten it some more, but leave it there for right now. Normally if I do a dead man's switch, I'd have a alligator clips to hook on the electrical, but I didn't have that available, so I used what I had, which was just a piece of wire. I would not recommend that to anyone else. That's tight. Yep. We'll go back in, hook it up, and see if we can make water.
After I realized the pump was frozen, I spent another 45 minutes removing the drain plugs and spraying WD-40 into the pump, trying to get the impellers to free up. Nothing I was trying worked in freeing the impellers. And I became frustrated and decided to go ahead and mow the back lawn to try and calm down and give myself some time to think about what I should try next. By the time I had the pump freed up and ready to reinstall, we'd been at the cabin for over 6 hours. This video has gotten a little long, so I'm going to end this video here. I'll post another video covering reinstalling and priming the pump and the procedures for turning the water on in the bathrooms. If you want to be notified when the next video is published, then hit the subscribe button and then click on the bell for notification. If you like the videos, then you can give me a thumbs up. Till the next one, take care.